Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to a new episode of Une Sports. This is episode 82. We're getting close to 100, Mike. Probably could reach in October. Never know.
Yeah.
Or even before that, depends of the speed and news. You're joined with your host, Mike and Richy, always available on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. And the credentials are always in the paragraph. You can find our Twitter handle if you want to interact with us. This is episode 82. What's going on, Mr. Wets?
Not much, man. You know, Richie back from vacation, jet lagged.
Oh yeah, I was telling my coworkers this morning I'm like, yeah, the jet lag is kicking me right now.
Mhm.
Like I'm gonna be very slow. I was walking so slow on the office and stuff like that. So yeah, it's kick. I'll probably be good by next week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll take a few
some
days for you
vitamins
to
and
get
stuff like that. Oh yeah.
readjusted.
I'm like, where am I? Yeah.
But I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Doing good.
Is it really hot in Texas right now?
Dude, I woke up, I was telling Jerry's one of our friends, I
Shout
was
out to
telling,
Jerry.
I was telling Jerry, man, like there's some days that I just wake up with a headache because I don't hydrate enough before I go to
Yeah,
sleep.
yeah,
And then I just wake up with a stupid, like this morning I woke up with a stupid headache. And
yeah.
I had the Pedialyte right next to my bed.
You chuck that thing, huh?
Like,
Pause.
dude, it's like
Yeah, I realized
it's
it takes a very long time to get back to hydration. Even if you drink 2, 3 bottles, if you're very
yeah.
dehydrated, it takes so long for you to get back to normal, how you feel like everything is cleared. So that's my process right now. I'm gonna try to I just bought like a huge bottle of water. Like right now, I'm gonna try to like drink so much because I'm
Yeah.
dehydrated right now. I'm not gonna lie. And
It's
then on vacation, I didn't drink a lot of water because I didn't really have time. I was
okay.
just moving around, so a little sip there, a little sip there. At night, just a couple sip. I swear, I probably drink 2 bottles like during the day, or even sometimes one. This is horrible.
That's
Probably why I
crazy.
have
Yeah.
like headache and stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's it's bad, but everybody's telling me it was like, yeah, no, it's this is light right now.
Oh,
It's
okay.
gonna get bad in August.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
like, all right,
You
man.
gonna go to the beach?
I
Nah,
mean, nah, not over
nah.
here. Not those man-made beaches.
Fair
I
enough.
could probably go to the lake, maybe, which is also a
Oh, yeah, you
man-made
have a pool
lake.
too, so you can go
Yeah,
and
there's
relax.
there's plenty pools over here,
Yeah,
so you go
yeah,
poolside and then you'll go chill or whatever. But
yeah.
AC's just been blasting all summer. That's it.
There's no way. It was like 97 when I was driving back to get there. I was
Really?
like, oh my God. Yeah, it was
Like
crazy. And I had
it's
my
like it's
I had my
101
jacket
today.
on because I felt like I was cold because of the headache, but it was very hot. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 101 today, so I've
When I
just
went
been
to get some
indoors.
pizza today and I walked in with my jacket, they're probably looking at me like, is this kid crazy? I'm like, hey guys, I'm a little bit sick, so
Uh,
yeah.
welcome to the weather report with Richie and Mike.
ABC, please sign us.
Oh man. But yeah, Richie, the Euros and the Copa
Battlefield.
America. Copa America. Yeah, let's call it a battlefield because that's definitely what it was, man. What an embarrassment.
For the final? Oh, what happened in the
I
final?
mean, overall for the end of the tournament, man, like it's just poor coordination,
Yeah, I think it was poor coordination.
poor
Yeah,
planning.
yeah,
It was just so bad. And I don't, people could say and like Colombia and Argentina to, maybe two Spanish countries that really don't really like each other. And there's like a lot of like those talks going on, especially like in South America, where they're like, oh yeah, people in Chile don't like people in Argentina, people in Argentina don't like people in Brazil,
yeah.
obviously,
Very super
but
competitive.
all that stuff. And
Hmm.
you could you could say that that is the reason why some of those things happened, but I mean, it should
Yeah.
have never happened in the first place.
No,
If
it should have never happened. I
if
don't know what people were thinking. I'm not sure if people were drunk
yeah,
and they decided to be like, hey, listen, let's try this.
it was like it was ridiculous, man. Putting people's families in danger. I was glad Darren Nunes wasn't suspended and they didn't take,
No, I mean he's
yeah,
fighting for his when once the report was like fighting for his family, kids, like you gotta do what you gotta do, man. That's
yeah,
more important than a soccer game.
100%,
And also like
100%.
in the final, there were kids too, like in the on the line, so it could have been very dangerous.
Uh,
So I thought this
100%,
was
man.
poorly thought by the people that tried this. Like you could have hurt people, and I'm not gonna lie too. Since I landed in the Miami airport,
Hmm.
jerseys was left and right. I'm like, okay. I'm like Miami's gonna be lit.
So hopefully, come 2026,
Oh, if
things
Colombia
are.
would have won, the aftermath would have been crazy.
Hopefully, things are ready.
No, they're gonna it's well
The
it's
infrastructure is gonna be
yeah.
better. Hopefully.
USA, Mexico, and Canada. I think Canada and Mexico also look at it and be like, okay, we're gonna have to bolster security. I don't think it's gonna happen in Canada. In Mexico, I don't know really how the games are over there, um but United is definitely gonna get a higher top-notch
Yeah.
security.
Yeah. I don't think they probably
No
didn't give enough
65
for
years old gonna be running
yeah.
off the kids, bro. Like you gotta stay
Like
home.
fake ass security. Like
When I worked at the F1 event,
Mhm.
they had a security company, but like honestly, if there was like something that would have happened, obviously there was cops and stuff like that, and many other types of higher, what would I say, like higher ranking um police and bum teams and stuff like that. There
Okay,
were like,
okay, yeah.
and then there were a couple people in disguise with the shorts, with the shorts and the Yankees hat and the shirt. I'm like, yeah, you're undercover. Like in the shoes and the New Balance shoes. I'm like, yeah, you're undercover, bro.
It's
And the
like they're
glasses,
sponsored.
yeah, yeah, I know you're undercover. Um, but like the securities that were there were not really like the first day. I had a Haitian guy with me. We joked all day. The second day, they had like an older lady that she was probably around, I would say 60, 65. If there
Mhm.
was something around there, like she would have not be able to do anything. So I hope that obviously everyone deserves to get paid, but they have to kind of like bolster the security a little bit better. Not
100%.
saying this is the what happened due to the age of securities and stuff. I'm not going there. I'm just saying that there were events where like it was kind of like old, young, but I guess I was not expecting that to happen. But yeah, it happened.
But yeah,
But I was okay with the delay because like you gotta get the at least 90% or 80% of the right people to be there and also the families because the aftermath would have been a lot worse than just playing after 30 minutes.
for sure. But yeah, just finished ending with the coronation of Spain in the Euros and Argentina, respectively, in the Copa America.
Mhm.
I mean, overall, man, what did you think of the two competitions? What were your thoughts, man? Were you
I, I
satisfied?
I don't think it's the best competition. I've seen better. Especially I've been watching the Copa America since like 2004, with knowledgeable a little bit
Mhm.
because like I've seen a couple Copa America 90. Was that 97 or 99? No, not 97. 99. Was it 99? But
I
I mean,
can't.
I was probably like 6, 7. But the last Copa, like a couple of the Copa Americas were way better than this one. And also, I feel like the refs were very bad in the Copa America. They let too many things go. We did not get a chance to see the free flowing game of South America. I know sometimes it's very beautiful, and sometimes it's very, like hitting. As soon as it's
Yeah.
like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you don't call any fouls, it's just gonna go that route. And then you're not
Mhm.
gonna see good football, and then it's gonna be the same talk again, be like South America don't play good football, and that's not true. But overall, I was very disappointed in the Copa America. I knew from the get-go that Argentina was gonna win. I don't think Argentina specifically had a great competition, but if you look at individual talent and they've been playing and winning for a minute now,
Yeah.
so they were favored to anything. Like comparing to, I think Uruguay is gaining momentum. They're gaining a starting 11 that um what's his name again? Uh,
Illustrious, Darren
no, no,
Nunes.
the coach.
Oh, Bielsa.
Bielsa. I
Yeah.
think Bielsa knows his starting 11. Colombia's also building the starting. I don't know if James Rodriguez is going to be here in 2026. The only team I believe that did not have chemistry and start 11 is Brazil. I think the coach only had 2, 3 games. So I think that's very light coming in and then you take over the team, play like maybe 3 international games, or maybe I think he played Spain, England, and maybe when did he come over?
I don't even remember,
I don't know if he
honestly.
played. I don't know if he played
I want to say probably
a
like
qualifier.
the turn of the year.
Okay,
That's
I,
when
I
he
want to
probably
say I know
started.
that. Yeah, I know that he won. I know that he played England and Spain. I don't specifically think that Brazil played a big game or anything, but I think what Brazil needs is just get your starting 11 quickly and build like that. It doesn't matter if you don't have skills. At least you're gonna have chemistry. Players gonna know their other cowork. I always say coworkers, their teammates, knowing
Teammates.
their movements, knowing what they like, how with the like, because like, they don't really get a chance to play a lot. So I think that's what Brazil needs. And when you look overall, like there's really nothing. I was very satisfied with Ecuador. I think they're building a very young team. They gave Argentina a run for their money. So Canada also had like a decent competition.
Hmm.
Shout outs to Jesse March. He's probably gonna brag all summer. Yeah, United States had a very horrible competition. They fired Beralteo, and
Yeah.
then club immediately 2 seconds rejected. Jesse March rejected as well. So overall, it wasn't like a great competition, but I expected Argentina to win because of chemistry, confidence, and also they had enough, man. Messi was not even good and they won.
Yeah.
So I think it brings a lot for the team to fight for him. So
I mean, again, it says a lot about their crop of talent.
yeah,
I mean, but they lose, to. I mean, I don't know. I think Messi is probably, how would I say? He's probably enough of a fiend, just like Cristiano Ronaldo, that
yeah.
he's still gonna be there in 2026 for the World Cup. When honestly, I don't think they should be, or
Mm.
maybe not in the role that they are right now, at
They could
least.
bring
Like,
him and then he could be like
ex-
a guy that plays the first game, doesn't play the second game. Oh, play the first and second, doesn't play the third game and stuff like that. I don't know.
yeah, or
Depends of
like
his will.
bit part players, like, well, not bit part, but in terms of like the minutes that they play and the role that they occupy on the team, like
Yeah.
it shouldn't be like they shouldn't be the focal points of their teams
No.
come 2026. But yeah, man, I mean, I told you guys already. I spoke about it at
Yeah, you
length
spoke
about,
about it.
about Brazil and, their discipline issues, which, you know, Vinicius turned me into a prophet, and he was suspended for a game a knockout game. It
And
wasn't
it was
even a
very
group
important.
game. It was a
Uh-huh.
knockout game. Like, you can't afford to be suspended as the best
Nope.
player
You gotta stay disciplined.
of Brazil. So, I already knew that was going to happen. But overall, for me, this is what I kind of expected. I watched the last, what, I think 3 games of the Copa because I
Hmm.
was not invested. I didn't.
It was
I
very
knew.
difficult for me to watch it in
Yeah,
at the like live because it was at 2 a.m.
true.
So I was like, 2 a.m. or not wake up tomorrow to visit.
When you're on that side of the world.
Yeah,
So,
I'm like, nah. Like I'll
um,
watch it when I come back.
yeah, but I mean, I'm always
And also,
satisfied. Yeah, go ahead.
for the difference between Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is that Messi doesn't really run as much, and he's more like a guy that gets to a space and then look over to see the openings of the runs. At what? How old is he gonna be? I'm not sure, but I
I
think
think
if he plays
37.
like this, he could be there because
Yeah,
it's very limited role, but it's very effective because his pass accuracies are still good.
yeah.
So if I'm just kind of like for him and Ronaldo is like they're getting their age, but Ronaldo is more like a physical guy, so he can take hits. Messi, you could see like now hits are very affecting him. So he's just Well, you can't really say he just has to stay away from physicality, but it is what it is. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, like, yeah, I was kind of
I
disappointed.
would give it like a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair score.
Yeah.
That's a fair score. It wasn't anything. There wasn't that much entertainment, even though early on there are teams that did provide that entertainment because
Yeah.
it's not like the Euros really gave us that much to
Not
begin
really.
with as
Yeah.
well. But Argentina loses Di Maria as well, which is another talisman for that
Yeah.
team.
Shout
So
out
we'll
to
see.
Di Maria, legend,
100%. One of my favorite,
professional.
one of my all-time favorite players, man.
It
I wish we
worked
didn't
out.
have
Me and you.
Louis van Gaal at the time that he went to Manchester United, but it is what
He
it
has
is,
a
man.
documentary that's gonna be out, I want to say August, September.
Mhm.
And there's a part that he's gonna talk about that moment and then how PSG saved them. So it's gonna be interesting to see what he has to say about um that situation in Man United. Get like a little bit more deeper. And I don't know what he's gonna say, but it's gonna be very interesting.
Yeah, I'll be watching. I'll be tuning in.
Oh yeah.
But now let's transition into the Euros, man. What did you think of that? I think, for me, the deserving team won. The only team
Yeah, that's
over
mhm.
the two competitions that was actually playing football, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I'll give it like a 6 because of Spain winning.
Yep.
Give like a football one, like everyone is saying, because they were the only team that was playing super well. There were other teams that play well in the competition, but they were the only one that's like kind of consistent. I want to say like maybe they had one back. The second game was a little bit not that good versus second was against Italy, right?
Can't
Yeah,
remember.
Italy, because Italy played Albania first. Yeah, that's right. That game was not really great, but overall they played like the midfield, the movements. I think also the wingers helped a lot to
I
kind of
mean, you
like
could
because
say the
like
wingers, but I think injuries helped them as well, man.
injuries from who?
Yeah, the Pedri, the swap for Olmo.
I see a player that can do many things. Like it's a player you could play as a false nine, you could play as a center mid, you could play as an eight, you could play as a winger, but he's not gonna be a pure winger. He's gonna like shift in. I like players like that that can do many roles. So I'm not surprised for what he's been doing in the competition, honestly. But like guys like Rodri and also Fabian Ruiz, who can arguably be as well top three for Spain. Like it's between him, I would say Yamal. There's so many good players that play well. Rodri.
Yep.
But I think the wingers also helped create space for the midfield because like they were attacking. Once they're attacking the fullbacks, um, kind of create a little bit chaos for defenders. It created more, you know, movements, and they did that well. They dominated midfield. Every team they played with, they dominated the midfield.
Yeah.
And shout outs
No,
to Fabian Ruiz. I've seen people saying that, oh, like he
man, I didn't
wasn't.
think he was that good, man.
I mean, the thing is that it's a 2 weeks competition.
I did not know.
Anyone
I
could be
wasn't.
great in two
I,
weeks.
I apologize. I wasn't familiar with your game, man.
Honestly, like when he plays for Paris Saint-Germain, he might not be great because the way
Mhm,
the team is like set is not
mhm.
towards him. But the role that he plays in Paris Saint-Germain is huge. He plays a number 8, but he kind of helps create space for wingers.
Yeah.
Like he will be very close to the line,
Yeah.
which create
Yeah.
a little bit space for at the moment Mbappe wants to play at the little space, not fully 9, but like in that space. So he did that really, really well. I'm not saying that he played the whole season great, but overall, like what he's been doing in Spain, he's been doing it for Paris Saint-Germain. Just people are not really familiar, and also a lot of people don't like that league. So I was like, okay, it's 2 weeks. He could have been in his best form. That's it.
Yeah. He hit
Yeah.
peak.
He
He
hit
hit his
peak in the
peak
right
at
moment,
the
bro.
right time. But I mean, overall, like we got to talk about, that team for real because we're talking about players like individually, like you just pointed out, Fabian Ruiz, like people didn't think that he played, that great of a season with Paris Saint-Germain, but even though he was a starter
Yeah.
and he has been starting over
And he
players
was
like,
not a starter from the get-go because the
yeah,
original Medford was Ugarte, Vitinha, and
exactly,
Bayern. He got
exactly.
in.
That's what I was gonna say. Like he was a starter over players that I think that should have been starting for PSG, like Manuel Ugarte, who's also a
Yeah.
target for Manchester United.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously, he's Ugarte is a more of a physical guy. Like he's not a technical player, but
Mm-hmm.
you go from Fabian Ruiz, you go to Marco Correa, um, who again, I mean, he's been starting for Chelsea consistently now because Ben Chilwell is,
Yeah,
always in and out injured.
injured and not really
But
performing like that.
exactly, but it's not a left back that people would think that okay, this is the guy that would be
Man, everyone
performing.
was asking like Grimaldo.
Exactly. Or, Balde is injured, so
Yeah,
the other guy, I forget his name from Valencia is injured.
Gaia.
And yeah.
Mhm.
So Marco Correa. A guy in Amic Laporte who's playing in Saudi Arabia now. Nacho, who isn't the number one or number two
Choice.
or number three choice center back for Real Madrid. But he did have an incredible season,
Mm-hmm.
and he stepped up in a role
Yeah,
when
he
a lot
started
of
the first game, then Lunomar started the second and third game.
the only guy like we could really, you know, when we're thinking of like those solid guys that ended the competition for the team. Even Jesus Navas coming in
Yeah,
for Danny Carvajal. I mean,
yeah.
like I think this is a team that, shout outs to the coach. Like
This dude
they were,
brolic.
that man is cut up. He's cut up.
Yeah,
They were on the same page, man. And Rodri in midfield just
yeah. You know,
literally
Rogers, Roger.
just dominating, man.
Yeah,
Like, yeah, I remember. I think that it's you in the group chat that said like you didn't know what was happening in the game. And I was just like, well, uh, Rodri is just Himothy. Like that's all you need to know, bro.
I'm like, okay.
That's all you need to
Yeah,
know, bro.
yeah.
But yeah, Morata, going to
Captain.
AC Milan and captaining the team, and Lamine
And even their
Yamal.
bench players, like what was his name again? He came off the bench and scored one of the goals. Like everyone like kind of did their role.
Yeah, so it's a team that came together like
Yeah.
where they had players that you probably wouldn't think that they would occupy some of these major roles
Mm-hmm.
versus a team in the finals in England
Yeah.
that you're talking about top guys
Yep.
everywhere on the pitch. You got Kyle Walker, main guy in City.
Can we say
Um,
everyone on the pitch? Because I feel
well,
like if we go one on one, like it could
maybe,
be.
maybe a few areas,
Yeah.
but
I mean, yeah, you're right. Like there's a good players like Kyle Walker. I'm not taking Declan Rice over Rodri. Nope.
definitely
Uh,
not. Definitely not.
yeah, you're right. There's like some players that you can take. Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm just thinking about in terms of their roles for their clubs.
Yeah, like talent wise and what
Yeah,
they
because
represent in the
you
football
know
world at the moment.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because you got the PFA Player of the Year in
Mhm.
Foden, Kane, top scorer in Europe,
Yeah. And you also got a
Saka.
little bit gassed as well.
I mean, for
He
sure,
gassed up a little
but
bit. Yeah.
for I mean, it is what it is. But
No,
the
but you're
guy's
right. You
the
got
guy's
players.
prolific.
Yeah, like Kane came off for like 40 goals this
Yeah,
season.
42 if I'm not mistaken.
Saka was had a great season.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. Foden was okay, and well, he was the player of the year. Yeah, you're right. There was Bellingham had a half good season, but I mean, he still had a good season. Like he
Yeah.
he was very confident coming into the Euros, and then he had a decent Euro. I don't think it was great, but he had a decent Euro. Yeah, you're right. There's a couple players that Maino had a great, a decent Euros too. So yeah, yeah.
But whoever the next manager is, I mean, Gareth Southgate, steps down. What did you think of that? Do you think it was the right move
I
that
think it's
he?
the right move. Like you went to the finals twice, back to back, and you reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup, and you actually played better than France. So it's like, I don't think I'm gonna win too many heats. I'm like, it's enough. So here, I don't know if the English Association would have kept him. I don't know. Did he quit or they fired him?
I mean, they said that he quit, so
Yeah, I think it's the
then
right thing. Like
yeah, he
it's
stepped
like the
down.
same for Deschamps. He should have stepped down because I feel like it's the end of the cycle. The only difference with Deschamps, he won one World Cup, if I'm not
And yeah,
mistaken.
1-1 and went to the finals again.
Yeah, like bro, like it's enough, you know. I think it's the same that with Gareth. It's enough. I did my best. Yeah, I think so. I think it's the right choice. Get a great coach that can get as much juice out of this generation Yeah, that's the thing.
100% because England wasted one generation already. Like,
And then now you're gonna
you
waste
know,
a second
you
generation,
know,
bro.
in the state that football is in right now, with the crop of talent that you have,
Yeah, like there's not much talent in other teams. You
you
should be
know,
able to win one,
like
especially against Italy. Maybe not
it,
Spain because I know Spain's were favorite, but
like
bro,
teams that are constructed right now to actually win and that has some consistency. It's Spain, it's France, but France still has some like over the last year or so, they've ran into some issues. I
yep,
don't know what the issue is. Germany, definitely not.
no,
Portugal, there's always something going on
something
with
going
that
on with them.
team.
Yeah,
So we're talking about like what? It's literally
England
like
and
it's
Spain was not even on the map like
that
over
that
the World Cup. They just got in the map. I think the wingers helped a lot because
mhm.
they gave a different dynamic to the team. What something that Luis Enrique did not have. They're already playing well in general. So they hit a
So
couple
yeah,
cones on the way, but with the wingers, they gives you a different dynamic. Because when you start Asensio and Olmo on the World Cup, you're not gonna get wingers that are trying to take defenders one on one. You got guys that's gonna overload the midfield, and then you get like 300 passes in 2 minutes. So it's like teams be like, okay, we're gonna play the low block, and then beat you like Morocco with
yep.
energy and intensity and counter. But
Yeah.
with the wingers that they have now that takes defenders and also could like Yamal is a great he could cut in at any moment and then his pass accuracy is great. So
Uh-huh.
it's
Mhm.
like the perfect situation for them. But
Yeah,
yeah,
and
they
that
were not on the map. It was maybe England and France.
that's it. And I think that's what a lot of pundits were saying, like, different comparing this Spanish team to the one from the World Cup. It's like
It's not the same.
pass, 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 pass,
Yeah,
pass,
bro. Like
pass, pass. It's like, yeah, dude, what are we doing?
fully control
Like,
game. Yeah,
it's
like
like, what are we doing? Like, can we get
shots.
some type of shooting, some type of cross into the box,
Yeah, like get
like
something.
looking for your strikers, man. Like
Yeah.
this pass, 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 like it only gets you so far sometimes.
Yeah,
Like,
once you can't score after 35, 40, you start getting frustrated. And then the other team gets more confidence, and they'll literally get you. So
100%. So England has to figure it out.
they got they got one more chance for 2026. I mean, they still got
Mhm,
young players, but bro,
you
like you
know,
gotta get something because certain
but
players are getting a little bit up there. Walker's not
uh,
gonna be the greatest player.
100%. So
Kane could, yeah,
you got to figure out what you want to do, especially when you're looking at that back line again. Like, who's gonna be the next up? Like,
yeah.
he played Trippier at left back for what 70 to 90% of the competition, and
Yeah.
then Shaw
And
came in at the last minute to start the
and
finals.
Saka tried a little bit too, right? Or
Yeah, I
was he
mean
a right winger? Yeah,
in game he played him at left wing back
yeah,
when he
yeah.
brought in Cole Palmer, but
Oh, I
yeah,
forgot
and
about Cole Palmer.
Kyle Walker up there in age, so who's going to be a right back because everybody's complaining about Trent, not being, and you didn't even play Trent as a right back anyways because you
It's like, all
transformed
right,
into
I gave you too many chances. I
you
get
transformed it into a central midfielder
yeah.
for the team. So
Cool.
that team has then whoever the next coach is. I hope it's a foreign coach. I hope it's not a
Yeah.
British manager for them because that'll probably bring some fresher ideas
Yeah.
uh, to
Get the
that
best out of your team.
to that team. So
Hmm.
good luck to them. But I'm more than happy to look at memes on the internet about them saying it's coming home and it doesn't.
That's crazy. But yeah.
I'm more than happy to keep doing that, man. Um, but yeah, but other than that, man, we also had, a lot of moves in free agency. Yeah, we're a little bit deeper into and in July, so that was gone, but we weren't there, so we'll talk about some of these moves that were made as well. So I'm curious to know if you think that like a team like the Dallas Mavericks who just acquired the Klay Thompson, if they did enough to actually, they just came off of the finals where they got absolutely destroyed, demolished by the Boston Celtics. I want to know if you think that they did enough to actually
Compete.
get back to the finals. Because
Um,
I think they got lucky. in some sense, but do you think they did enough to actually get back to the finals?
I think adding Klay Thompson to this team will make them better, but I don't know if it's enough for them to go back to the finals. Because when you look around the West, the Denver Nuggets, um, I'm not sure if they're any better this so
Nah, I don't
far.
think
So
so.
far,
Yeah, I don't.
um, Timberwolves, I like their picks. Dillingham is a great player, and I think that if they have the right mental and see what they can do, they can come back and be more dangerous. I don't believe in the Suns. The Lakers are still trying to strike a trade
Yeah,
because there's no really good free agents available right now. So it's gonna have to be a trade if they want to get better.
they got Bronny though.
I'm not getting into that, Mike. We get me into that. You trying to shut the podcast, huh? I don't think Bronny is gonna play as much as people think. I
Nah,
think
he's not.
it's
He's not.
okay.
He's a
Yeah,
55th pick, man.
yeah, I think
Like,
he's gonna go to the G League, get better, and then get a couple games to play with his dad. But we'll see how it goes from there. Like what because right now, like it's crazy. Like, the internet is like going at him. His confidence is probably like low. I think he should go to the G League, get out of the media a little bit, get your game up, and then come play a couple games with your dad, and then go back to the G League, get your confidence back, and then we'll see from there. But yeah, so Golden State, they're trying to get Lowy, but and just trying to fleece people
mhm.
again. And when you look overall, moves like New Orleans is not that dangerous. They got better a little bit, but it's not that dangerous. I don't think the Spurs. You believe Spurs are fourth, fifth, but I don't think so.
No,
So
no,
you look
I
over.
they'll make the playoffs though. That's
I
all
don't
I
think
know.
so. We
Mhm.
can get to that, but I don't think so. So overall, not one team got so much better at the moment. So when
Right.
you add Klay Thompson, I think it's a good situation for both. When you look at Dallas Mavericks, when they got to the finals, like you said, they got completely destroyed by Celtics because you got guys like Derek White. What's the point guard name that came from the Bucks, Mike?
Drew Holiday,
Drew Holiday, even Harford. Who else, Mike? Am I missing? Hauser. Everyone was knocking shots, and then when they knocking shots,
Tingus Pingus.
they're knocking shot, it'd be like for 2 minutes. And then if you cannot respond at the moment and hit shots back to stop the bleeding, it could be a little bit more difficult to get back because at this point it might be like a 15-point game, and the players that you have are not knocking shots. It's talking about like PJ Tucker. Well, he's not in the team
PJ
anymore. Like the
Washington.
PJ Washington, that's the PJ
Mhm.
Tucker. PJ Washington and DJ D.
Derek White. No,
Yeah,
not Derek
no.
White.
Oh my God, I don't know what's going on. It's a jet
The
lag.
yeah, the skinny dude, right?
Yeah, he's not on the team
Left-handed.
anymore. Yeah. But
Derek
when at that
Jones. Derek
Derek
Jones
Jones,
Jr.
he's not on the
Yeah.
team, but at the moment where he's in the team, like he had a good playoff, but when you needed to stop bleeding, those role players were not able to knock shots. When you have ball handlers like Kyrie and Doncic, you have when they're getting to the basket, you need to give them attention because they're so good. I believe that they're the best duo that can knock shots anywhere in the court. So when they get to the paint, you have to give them attention. That leaves Klay Thompson open from time to time. And yeah, Klay Thompson is not the same player, but a shooter's still a shooter. You leave him open, you get the confidence back. I think it's a great situation for him. Like you go somewhere like you don't have too much pressure on you to kind of like show the team that you can still do this when he was at the
Mhm.
Golden State. I'm not getting benched by this guy. I can still do it. And then you saw it, Mike. We talked about it. Like he's getting weird shots. But now he's gonna get better shots. I don't need him to score 25 points or 20 points. I need him to score a point basket that stop bleeding. And if you let him open and he knocks a couple shots, he could get it going. So I think it's a great acquisition. I think they can probably reach the third round or second round. I think it's enough to reach the second and third round. But I want to see how a team like OKC, Minnesota do in
How
a
they come back.
how they come back. I know they're young, but I want to see how they come back because OKC had two great acquisition with Ardenstein and Caruso. I forgot about that. That's two guys. You got a guy
Yeah,
that can get the floater. He's a guy that also can relieve a little bit of pressure on your point guard because he's a good passer. He can find cutters.
Yeah.
So
And
to get,
athletic. This ain't Josh Giddey,
I
man.
don't know if
Like he could get
Hardenstein
he.
is not athletic.
No, no, no. I'm talking about Caruso.
Oh, okay. I was talking
Yeah,
about Hardenstein because he
yeah.
can do that for you.
Yeah.
Like he's not like a typical Mitchell Robinson. He has more into his bag. He's just not athletic and he's not a blocker and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have another center.
No,
Uh,
they don't because uh Kid was playing there as their big men basically. They have another big guy, but
Kid.
he's not Hardenstein.
Oh,
But
okay. They need a rim protector. They
yeah,
need another rim protector.
and that's how the Mavs really beat them. It was
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
creating a
Yeah,
crowd
yeah,
to stop Shea on offense,
yeah.
and then and then their offense, they were offensive rebounds galore with Derek Lively and Daniel
Mhm.
Gafford
Yeah,
constantly and more
yeah.
physical
Hmm.
and all that stuff. But I'm curious to see how that relationship is going to develop because I mean we all had questions and shout outs to you because you said that as well. When I said I never thought that the Kyrie and Doncic experiment was going to work. And you said it didn't until they made
A
the
third trade.
deadline
That's yeah, second trade.
the deadline trades where they
Yeah,
got PJ Washington and they got Daniel
Gaffer.
Gafford and then
Hmm.
they changed the dynamic of the team.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how that relationship is going to happen and how because we've seen we at this point now we know Klay Thompson is one of the most it's funny that it comes back full circle from 2016 when he said that LeBron James was sensitive.
Hmm.
This guy, Klay Thompson, is sensitive. He's
That
sensitive as
it
hell.
got to him a lot from
Yeah.
the showing that he got 4 rings, which he
Yeah.
was probably he said that he was embarrassed doing that to Devin Booker on the PJ Paul George podcast P, right?
Podcast P.
Yeah, so he said that he was embarrassed, but when he came back on the season, it wasn't really great because you could see how like anxious he still were. But at some point of the season in some conference, you saw that he saw the reality. He's not the same player anymore. I think that came from making the decision and also not getting the money maybe that he wanted.
Hmm.
Like he like, you know what, I need to get out of that situation. I had a great run with them, but looking around the league, he could have been to the Lakers or there, but this is a great situation for him. And I think it's gonna be a good situation for Doncic and Kyrie too, because you got a guy like him. Because the whole point is like if you get to the finals again and you play the Celtics, you need to have players that can stop bleeding. And then they didn't have that. They had Doncic and Kyrie, but when you trap these guys and then Kyrie has to release the ball to guys like
PJ
PJ
Washington, Derek
Washington, and
Jones.
then when they're not knocking shots, they've never been there. They're getting stressed.
Yeah, and
So
that's the thing that really happened and plagued them in
yeah,
the finals was the fact that one, Kyrie showed up for one game out of five. That was
yeah,
it.
he
Like
didn't show up. He
he
was very
was
poor a
he
little
was
bit.
bad. And then Doncic, in the last game, I mean, they just gave up.
Yeah, I mean, it was
It
too hard for them at this point.
exactly.
So it's like,
Um,
yeah, we gotta retool.
but
And then I don't know if they're gonna have another move, but I think that's a good move to get someone that is a good shooter. I think if he's open, he can knock a couple shots and bring his confidence up.
mhm.
I'm not saying he's gonna be an amazing player because it's not the same Clay, but with Doncic and Kyrie, it's the perfect situation for you to get a little more spacing.
but that's what I want to say about like him being sensitive is the fact that I want to see like going through the season because of how ball dominant these two are. Like how comfortable are you being less involved in the offense? Because I feel like you know I don't know yet, but this is just me theorizing. Like
That's a good thought. It's a great thought.
Jason Kidd is a great coach. We've seen that now. Like, but the Dallas Mavericks offense is not a motion offense.
No.
It's not the Golden State Warriors. It's literally predicated on yo pick and roll and ISO. It's
Yep.
literally Doncic and Kyrie show. It's pick and roll and ISO,
Pick and
and
roll,
you get
tough
you
shots.
yeah, and then you get fed when you get fed. Like you're
Yeah.
going to like this the offense is generated by those two guys. So I'm curious to see
Hey, we're talking
how
about a 4 times champion. We're
No,
not
for
talking
sure.
about we're not talking about PJ Washington and stuff like
For
that. He's gonna
a hu-
he's
a
gonna get
hundred
some
percent,
touches.
100%. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
No, it's a great
if
thought.
if it doesn't, if it's not something that's reconfigured to include Clay, it's like, okay, we need to get this guy 15 shots a game.
Yeah.
Like, how
How do
comfortable
you
and
do that? Yeah.
how comfortable is he gonna be? It's like, yo, I'm just a corner guy.
I
Like,
think to
and
answer your question,
In the
yeah,
PJ Tucker role, like, how long is it gonna last with him before he starts
until he
getting
gets
frustrated?
frustrated.
Yeah, and he says
I don't
that
I don't think it's
this isn't who I am.
I think that he had to sit and think about their offense.
Mhm.
And also the Dallas also had to sit to see all those situations. I think that overall, this is a team that went to the finals and be like, okay, let's try to get back. Are we gonna kind of tweak our offense to get him involved more? Because he's still Klay Thompson. He's not the same player, but we're not talking about any player. We're talking about a guy that's been in great situation for a long time. So you have to give him some role in the offense. You can't just let him like sit in the corner and like in a game and he gets like 4 or 5 shots. And also you got Kyrie that's a little bit more passive than Doncic. Maybe Doncic is gonna give him less passes, but I feel like Doncic is. I think he's gonna get him involved. Like I said, it's we're talking about Klay Thompson. So
Oh well.
it's a very great thought because like you said, he's a very sensitive guy. But I think that mid-season around January when he came to his realization, I think he's gonna be a little bit better. It's a different situation. I don't think
Hmm.
he's gonna come in and be like, oh hey. So that's a great thing. Like we should monitor this and then come back to this 2 months after Dallas ball to see what tweak they made to get him involved seriously in the offense.
For sure.
Yeah, because if you don't
All
get
right.
him involved, you're not gonna get a great play.
You're not.
You need to get him involved
You're
so he
not,
could.
because he needs to be in rhythm.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
he needs to be in rhythm. All right. The Another major free agency move that happened in the offseason was Apoel Tel Aviv got your boy Pat Beverly $2 million, man.
What is that a minimum vet? Unless they're giving a castle over there and gold and
Nah,
stuff like.
dude, that's probably the highest salary
What's the
in
contract?
there. I don't know, bro.
Is it 1 year or
I don't even know. It
is it
probably
like a
is.
is it a two
Probably
years,
is.
$4 million?
It's probably just a year for 2 mil.
$2 million. They
Yeah.
they giving this guy a car. Like they're giving him the life over there. We need
Oh
to
man,
dig into this because that's a
that's
minimum vet.
that's so funny, man. It's like, what a
He's like, they
guy.
gave me everything. I'm like, damn, they're gonna give him 10 million. That's not bad.
What a
Boom,
guy,
two
man.
million. That's funny.
But
That's very funny.
but it, Podcast P moved from Los Angeles to the East Coast,
Philadelphia.
goes back to the East Coast to go to the Philadelphia 76ers. What do you think of that move? Do you think that gets them over the hump and finally gets Joel Embiid out of the second round?
I think overall it's a good move in terms of talent. You get a talented player that comes in and can
It ain't
uh
Tobias Harris, that's for sure.
no, for sure. It's not gonna be Tobias Harris' contribution, but you get a guy. I think everyone's concerned, like 99% of the people is the concern is the health. Because
Yeah,
if at some point it's like just Maxi and Paul George, it's whatever.
yeah.
But we're not gonna forget that Embiid put this team on his back for like November till January until he got hurt. So if you get the same Embiid that's dominating the board and then making like mid shots, and then you got Paul George a little bit motivated, and Max, he's a professional, he's gonna show up. Yeah, it's a good acquisition. It depends of the perspective of what you look at it. Everyone perspective right now, I believe 90% of everyone perspective is the health. If they're
Yeah.
healthy, they're gonna give a couple teams a run for their money on the playoffs, including the Celtics, the Bucks, the Knicks. It's still Paul George and Embiid. It's
I
just a
like the
question.
team. I like the team,
And
man.
you got good role players. You
Yeah.
bring Lowry back, he can still knock shot. You bring Martin. I don't know what his contribution is gonna be. Lost a couple dollars, but and you get what's the guy that got hit by the bike?
Yeah, that's who I was gonna look for his name because I can't remember his name.
Pretty boy.
Yeah, but lefty, I can't
What's
remember
his
his name
name,
right
bro?
now.
Like, oh
I'm gonna
my
look it
God.
up. But
Come
yeah, continue
on.
with your thoughts.
I mean, no, I was just saying overall, it's a good team. I'm not gonna say it's a great team. It's a good team because they've been disappointed
And
for a long.
Joel was still dominating
He had like 67%. It's like,
on one
bro,
foot.
you're a beast, but
He was still dominating on one foot.
yeah.
Kelly Oubre.
Kelly Oubre is still a good role player. I think when I looked at him in the playoff, he had a good he did great. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
When I say Embiid was great, I don't think he was like healthy, but he was a little bit dirty.
Yeah, he's
But
getting on my
overall,
nerves.
yeah, it's like it was horrible. But overall, it's a decent squad they can make some noise in the East. Because I don't think the Bucks got a little bit better overall. Because I think that yeah, but yeah, overall I think the Philly is good.
I will raise you one and say that the team is actually damn good, man.
Okay,
I
that's
think
fair.
they did a wonderful job, but I'm still going to be hate watching because I don't like Joel Embiid anymore now. I'm
Hmm.
mad that I even spoke about him as being MVP over Jokic because of his
You remember
antics
that
now.
time? Yeah,
Yeah, Jokic should be four times MVP
I
now
was on your
for all
side.
I care.
He's
Yeah. But and
not gonna get me on this side anymore.
and
That's for sure.
playoff P, man, because this guy, like, I just don't think at this stage of his career, like I don't really think he cares anymore,
No,
like
I mean
really
you know the conversation I had
to
with you guys
to
about the
win.
money situation. Like,
Yeah.
give me Kawhi money, bro. I mean, Kawhi is never available, but Kawhi was did something in the past. But yeah, man, it's like
But
I don't know how high his motivation is because last year he said, "Look me over, I'm gonna be great." I mean, he had a good season, but he didn't really stand out.
yeah, but overall for the roster, I like their pick and Jared McCain.
The dancer,
They, yep,
the TikTok dancer, he's
the
good.
tick
He's good.
the TikToker.
I was telling you
Uh,
guys, he was the only guy that I kind of saw during college ball a little bit. So he's decent. He's good. He's gonna give great contribution off the bench.
Okay. Tyrese Maxey re-signed.
Yep.
Uh, so they got they obviously they got Embiid.
Mm-hmm.
They got a new backup now in Andre Drummond.
Better than Reed.
Yeah. They're bringing back Kyle. They got
Okay.
Caleb
Good
Martin
vet.
now. They got Caleb Martin,
Good role
another
player.
good role player, good wing.
Yeah.
Still got Kelly Oubre, good
Yeah.
role player, good wing on
Wing, and then
defense.
he could yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Eric Gordon.
Oh yeah, Eric Gordon is
You
there.
know,
Okay.
exactly. You know,
That's not bad.
so
That's not a bad roster.
exactly, man. So I'm liking the roster, man. I think Nick Nurse, like, second year now, going into his second year, I think he could
He
figure
gonna
some
figure it
stuff
out.
out
He
with
gonna
this
buy two
team.
chains now.
Yeah. He could probably figure it out with this team, but again, I will be hate watching,
Oh,
and
for sure.
I cannot wait till it all unfolds and blows up again. But
Yeah.
but I like what they did though.
Yeah,
They
no,
did
overall
good.
they did a great job
They
to
did
assemble
good.
like a team.
They
After
did
like
good.
disappointment against the Knicks, you had to
Mhm.
do something. I think bringing Paul George is a good acquisition, and you got great role players. So
Mhm.
shout outs to them. I'm not gonna hate on that, but I'm definitely gonna hate on the season. So yeah,
Now let's talk about them since we're here, man. Let's talk about your Knicks, your Villanova Knicks, man. What do you think, man? Where does these moves put the Knicks, man? Jalen Brunson just re-signed an extension. Uh,
took a good pay
you
cut to keep
Yep.
flexibility for the team,
Hmm.
avoid second apron, so you be flexible to add a center and do other trade. You never know, there could be another trade. Then overall, I think they did a great job adding the wing because that's what they were looking for. I'm not gonna say that Mikal Bridges is the savior, but I think overall this team and also able to re-sign OG Anunoby, I think defensively they're gonna be good, and then you have an offense of Mikal Bridges. So I think it's a good move. I just need a backup center. But
Yeah.
overall, it was a good move. It was a good move.
I
Didn't really
mean,
give first rounds, so I
I,
think
I mean Tyler Collect,
they got some first. Yeah,
their
yeah,
draft pick looks really
yeah.
good, man.
He's a great assist man,
Yeah.
great point guard. They added big ears. I forgot what his name is. What's his name?
Who?
The guy that used to dance with Westbrook, Cameron Payne. So I don't know what
Oh
that
yeah.
leaves off Tyler, but overall, what I've seen for Summer League, he's a great floor general, man. Like you need that to get involved because Bronson is not a pure point guard. He doesn't really get people involved. Maybe when I say that, it's not means like he's a ball hog, but he's not that type of a point guard. But when if you can plug him in, like a guy like Tyler can get people involved. Like definitely like a guy like Mitch.
Yep. I'm curious to see what the starting lineup is going to be. I mean, obviously they're talking about moving some parts, some pieces to get a center now, because I guess that would indicate that they probably don't think Mitchell Robinson could come back into the starting role for what they want to do and want
Yeah,
to accomplish. No disrespect to Mitch, because I mean he's still a baller in my opinion. He just has to stay healthy.
yeah.
Um, but obviously he doesn't provide what Hartenstein provided for the
No, and
team.
Arsenstein was looking for a bag, so we
Yeah,
couldn't afford. Yeah.
exactly. Like dude
Mm.
got paid. Like
Yeah.
got money that I never thought that he would
Yeah, I was
ever
there.
ever
That's
get. Like
hmm
or
yeah.
I don't think he's worth that much, man. But no
No.
disrespect.
Hmm.
But there's rumors about Jalen Duran. There's rumors about some other players. And yeah, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna see what they actually end up doing. But I'm curious to see what Tom Thibodeau actually tries to do, because if 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 they don't get another center, like do they go Julius Randle, OG, and what's his name?
Mikal
What's his name?
Bridges.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges, and you go with the I don't know, maybe you still keep Josh Hart in the starting lineup, or DiVincenzo and Jalen
Mm.
Brunson. Like, how do you go? So I'm curious to see how this
I
team
go
is
with
going to
Dante.
start. I'm curious to see how this team is going to start, or are they going to go with the traditional center with Julius Randle and
OG
OG at the three and Mikal at the two,
two, and then
with
Brunson at the one.
Jalen Brunson at the one. So I'm curious to
I
see what
think that's the
happens.
one. I think that's the one. I think they're gonna keep Mitchell Robinson as a starter unless they shop him around and then they trade him. Because I know like for a fact that he's been in a couple he's been in a couple talks. Like they look at the overall like the future. I don't think he's like a he's not a healthy guy, so you can't really go with this guy like for the future. But if there's not really good trade out of it, like they're gonna keep him.
Yeah,
And also not yeah, I think there's one more trade, but that second lineup that you said is probably the one. And then off the bench you get Josh Hart, Dante, and it's gonna be interesting to see who comes in as a point guard. Is it Cameron Payne or McCobbridge or Deuce McBride?
but yeah,
So yeah, I think
um,
overall it's a good trade. It's just that I don't know where that puts us. We're definitely not better than the Celtics.
yeah, no.
I want to see how we do now against the Bucks because they beat us many times. I want to see if we can dominate them a little bit. I want to see what the matchup looks like also against Philly. So hopefully, like the Heat don't do too many moves to get better. So we'll see.
I'm worried about the Bucks. Um,
I think they just added a guy, right?
yeah,
Trent
Gary
Jr.
Trent Jr. It's a good move.
Yeah,
Obviously they were missing some type of shooting, but overall the roster kind of stayed the same. And the news came in today. It was like Chris Middleton rehabbing two ankle surgeries, like both ankles. It's like, dude,
when
like
is he gonna be available?
I think they're saying he should be ready
The
for
season
the
to open.
season.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he's gonna probably
but
start so slow, like Randall
yeah,
started with the ankle surgery. He started the first month very slow, very frustrated. So it's probably gonna be
but
the same thing as well. You
but
don't want to
looking
start your season like that.
but looking at this team, man, it's just not good enough. It's
Better
not good
for us.
enough. Like I mean, yeah, for the Knicks, for Philly, like
Yeah.
the way the Bucks are set up right now, they're not. I don't even know if they're the fourth best team in the East. Like it's the
Nope.
Celtics, it's the
I think
Knicks,
they
it's
still can
Philly.
when you look at Stars wins your championship, you have to put him second or third. I just want to see how they do the first month of ball. What
Yeah,
the chemistry is gonna look like. Second year
yeah.
with Lillard and Giannis, maybe Lillard goes a little bit more like be like, okay, let's
He did say he was. It's the first time in his career that he didn't work out and during the summer, so he was out of shape pretty much the
okay.
entire season. So we'll
All
see.
right, fair to see what the second season gives us.
We'll see what happens. He said this
Yeah.
is like now he's like actually working out because he was afraid to work out last year because of the injury and stuff like that, and he
Hmm.
knew that um that he was going to be on the move, so he didn't want to like get any type of injury to affect like his move and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're going to see what happens, but um yeah, Rich, I am confident in the San Antonio Spurs getting to the
Oh
playoffs,
my God, bro. So you think they're
man.
gonna make the playoffs like as of what, eighth seed?
I don't know how, but they're gonna make the playoffs because
They're
what
gonna
Chris
just
Chris
miss the
Paul
play-in
Chris
tournament.
Chris Paul has missed the playoffs what once in his career.
Okay.
I don't think he's ever missed the playoffs, man.
Yeah,
Like
but
this
the
guy,
team is not well constructed to make the playoffs.
bro. It don't matter, man.
I think
Chris
Chris
Paul,
Paul is gonna be a great professor for Wemby. He's gonna teach him how to what to do in the court, where to be on the court. It's gonna be an amazing experience for Wemby. But overall, I don't think it's gonna give much because you add Chris Paul, you add Harrison Barnes,
yep.
you have a good backup on Vassell, or maybe Vassell starts and Chris Paul comes off the bench. I don't know how they're gonna do it. Overall, yeah, they got a little bit better, but that's not even better than New Orleans. So how you gonna unless you're okay with Golden State not making the playoff and they take Golden State spot? Unless you're okay to say
Uh,
that.
I
Because then
mean, they gonna make the play on, man. That's all I know.
if they do make the play in, they're gonna get knocked out.
They're gonna make the playoffs.
I mean, okay, I don't see that. I think they're gonna get better overall as a team. The young guys are gonna learn from a great player with a high IQ. So yeah,
And
you're gonna win a couple more games. You're gonna probably win like seven more games, but that's not gonna take you to no playoffs, sir.
they were 22 and 60 last season.
What overall
Um,
the record?
yeah.
What's their new
The
record now?
the playing team that finished in 10th, which was the Warriors, was 46 and 36.
That's 20 games difference, Mike.
Yeah, they're
They're
gonna
not gonna
get
win
there.
20 more games, bro. Like, come on, bro. They're gonna win more games. Maybe Golden State wins less game. We didn't even Sacramento. They're not, man. They're not taking those spots, Mike. Sorry.
uh,
It's like saying that okay, you gotta pick teams that are not gonna make the playoffs. But you can't even tell me which team besides Portland
Sacramento,
and Utah Jazz, bro. Sacramento got what's his name?
DeRozan,
They got
man,
better.
that team ain't moving nowhere, man.
They're not going okay. They're not moving much, but they're still gonna be able to win more games.
And the same thing for New Orleans
What
too.
Chris
I
Paul gonna
mean,
do on defense?
nothing. But they got Wemby though. It don't matter.
Okay. I'm telling you, they're gonna win maybe like 9 more games. Maybe they get to 35, maybe 15 games.
Okay.
But that's still not enough to make the playoffs.
Um,
Maybe they qualify to play. I'll give you that. I don't want to say it, but I'll give you that.
but I mean, New Orleans didn't get much better, but
They added a
they
better point guard.
yeah,
Now
and
CJ don't have to act like a point guard.
Zion just got to stay healthy, man. Like
Okay.
he almost got the team to the playoffs, but he got injured at
Yeah.
the last play, and then it was over. But he just has to stay healthy. Maybe they need to figure out something with Brandon Ingram, but I mean, we'll
He was
see.
on the trade block, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't really believe in that team. The Lakers are not gonna do anything. Like it's just it is
The
what it is
Clippers
for
or
that team.
whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, man, those are the teams that really actually kind of made like solid moves.
Hmm.
We're waiting to see what Miami does and if they're actually gonna make any moves, but um, it's still Jimmy. Jimmy's still there. It's still Tyler Hero.
Jimmy is in Nice right now, speaking French. He said bonjour. Comment allez-vous? Voulez-vous coucher?
That Jimmy Butler boy. And Bam Adebayo was playing well for Team
Yeah, he's
USA,
playing
bro.
well. He's playing well.
Uh, but yeah,
AD as
overall,
well.
who?
AD as well.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
yeah, playing really well, playing really well.
Okay.
Um, but yeah,
They won against Serbia today.
I want to see what happens with Golden State because they still need another piece. Buddy Healed.
They're
I
trying to get
mean,
Lowry, but it's hard.
yeah.
They're asking for the whole team.
We know how that man moves, bro.
He's like,
Like,
bro, I don't want to really trade him, but I'm not gonna try to make you better. You're gonna it's a return for a return.
dude, I think they believe in Jonathan Kuminga so much, but I feel like they just don't.
Want to put him in a
Yeah,
trade.
like
Yeah, we try
they're
to. I don't know if how true it is. We try to get Kessler, but they're asking for a first round. The Knicks is like, yo, I'm not gonna. We're not going like oh, okay, we can like they're settling down just to see. That's one thing I liked about the Knicks organization. They don't push immediately. They think about their moves. I think the Mikal Bridges move, they thought about it. They looked around to see if there's any better fit, but they're like, you know what? It's getting slim. We gotta do something. We gotta get better. The Knicks, the past organization, they'll probably get Zach LaVine, something like that. Gave all their picks for Zach LaVine, and he would not be playing like even 2 months of ball.
Yeah.
So that's what more like when you're looking at the team from going for bad and then make a great decision, it's a great thing. Even if they don't win, it's a great thing to see, honestly. I know like for other people be like, hey, okay, like that's not but like from seeing this team from 2006 to now, it's great to see, man.
If Golden State is unable to get Larry Markkinen, I think they should probably, because Detroit is probably a team that's selling right now. I'd probably look into like probably getting Jalen Duren. I'd like,
Knicks are looking at Jalen
yeah,
Duren too.
as well, yeah. But for once in his life, man, I would like to see Steph Curry play with an athletic center.
Yeah,
Like
you've been asking for that.
for
Yeah.
once in his career, please, God, like,
Where's the other guy? He's still at Detroit. The guy that came from Golden State, Wiseman.
Wiseman, yeah, he's is he still there?
I think he signed to a different team.
Yeah, I think he just.
I just can't
signed to a
remember
different
what.
team. I can't remember which team either.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's all. That's all I had, man. I don't know if you want to touch base on anything else.
No, I think that we covered a lot. We covered many teams. Give our opinion. There's gonna be more news that's coming, so we could leave some juice for the next part.
Yeah, he signed for Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah,
We'll see if they can revive his career.
yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you
That's a
guys
nice
for tuning
hoodie.
in as always. Yeah, I've had this for years.
Okay.
Now it's just my house little hoodie now. Because it's
All right.
hot out. It's hot out here.
Oh
I
yeah,
need,
yeah,
I
yeah.
need I need no sleeves.
All
All
right.
right. You want to outro us, Rich?
Oh yeah, sure. It's episode 82, always available on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube. Appreciate everyone that listens to the show. Thank you very much. And like I said, our credentials is always in the paragraph below. Always feel free to reach back to us and conversate about any topics that we discuss on the pod. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, and peace.
Peace.